Okay, Lori here again with Time to Be Creative. We're going to work on the hinge system, but first I thought I'd show you real quick how I line the inside of my paper tubes. This measures 2.5 inches, so I just cut a little piece of coordinating paper. It doesn't have to be very deep. It could be half the size of this. This is just what I had. So it's 2.5. I just measured it a little under 2.5 inches. I put my score tape, well this is a different brand, but that type of tape, double face tape on one edge. And then take off the paper backing, if you can get it to lift up. I have no fingernails right now. And the trick is, the side where it's not sticky, slide that in and it doesn't attach to anything. Get it in position where you want it, and then it's easy to just press it down. And then go in with your bone folder and give it a good press. So you put your tape on, press it down, take off the paper backing, slide in the non-sticky side. It's opposite of where you want it to attach, so you can get it down there without it sticking. And then once you get it in position where you want it, you just press it down. If you just push it in there with the sticky side, a lot of times it will catch, and then you have to take it out and redo it. Now I'm going to also ink my edges, and I'm using these little cat's eye color boxes. These tend to be expensive, but a lot of times you'll find one on a clearance rack. So then I'll just come in and ink those edges. And probably what I'm going to do too is bring in my round punch, if I can get it in there, and take out a little section like that. So that'll be my page. That's another reason to line. You couldn't just do the back side if you want. Another reason to line that, so if you do decide to take out that little portion there, you have something nice to look at instead of the cardboard tube. Okay, so now the hinge. I've used this before. This I saw Jane from Velocity Vet do this hinge system. It's very easy. It works very well. I'm going to use black cardstock. I have 4 pages, so I need 4 little fins to attach my tubes to. And I need it to be 2.5 inches in width, because my page has to slide on there. So I found this cardstock at Michael's. It's already small. So I'm just going to trim this to 2.5 inches. And then I need a piece that measures 1.5 inches. Make sure I'm in camera here, which I'm probably not. So I'm going to measure my first piece at 1.5 inches. And then 2.5. I don't know if I measured that first piece right. I don't think I did. Let me do that again. Did I? 1.5 inches. Yep, that looks right. Okay. And you're going to take your scoreboard and you're going to score a 1/2 inch from each side. I'm not sure how well you can see that because it's black. I'm not doing the 1/2 inch from both sides. And then you want to give those a good fold in the press. Now I've made a few of these books with the toilet paper tubes, and my issue has been that I've had a hard time getting them to stick to the hinge because they tend to want to go back to their normal, I'll have to trim that, normal position of being round. That's why you want to press them really well. So today I'm going to use my red tape, which is like a score tape. It's double-sided and it's very sticky. It's got a really good grip to it. So that's what I'm going to use on my fins today, so that I don't know why my picture looks really white. Sorry about that. So hopefully I won't have a problem with it adhering. So the first thing I'm going to do is oh, there it is. I want to use my 1/4 inch. And so once we've scored these fins, you want to put your tape on both sides. Because that's where it's going to attach to the tube. Now you can use the 1/2 inch here because we scored it a 1/2 inch, but I have a hard time lining that up because you don't want it to get onto your folded area. So I'm just using the 1/4 inch, but you can use what you like, what you're more comfortable with. And then I'm going to do the same to the 2.5 inch piece. Front and back. And then you want to give those a good press. Make sure they adhere really well. Same with your 1.5 inch piece. Now on the 1.5 inch piece, we're going to run a piece of 1/2 inch. I'm going to just use my score tape on that one. You'll be able to see. right down the center. I'm going to give that a good press. And then this 1.5 inch piece is going to nestle right on top of your 2.5 inch piece. So we're going to lift up that tape, paper tape, and then I'm going to line this up with this little edge. I'm going to keep it as straight as you can keep it, and then press that down really well. And then you have your 4 little fins to hold the pages of your book. And then to make it easier to get your pages in, if you trim off these corners, we should be able to slide our tubes in very easily. Like that. So you want to make sure you have the right end that you want to attach to the spine, and you want to make sure your pages are in the order that you want. So I'm going to do this one first, second, third, fourth, and I've got the right ends, okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to lift that red tape. I just do the one side, situate it where I want it, and then press down. It's still got that little crooked. It's hard to see that black, and then I just come in and remove that other little bit on the other side, pull that out, and then press it down. So that's page 1. Coming in with my second page. Again, I'm just going to take off one side of my tape. Make sure I have my tube, the right one. Sit it down, give it a press. And then come in and lift up the other side of my tape. Give that a good press. And do the same thing. I find it easier just taking off one side of the tape at a time. Because I can slide it in on that untaped side, situate the page where I want it, and then just press it down with my fingers. And if you have a hard time lifting that out, you can always use a pair of tweezers. Go in and grab it. And now the last one. is. Now off camera, I'm going to come back in and cut out my little half moons and ink my pages. And then we'll work on decorating our pages and our photo mat inserts in the next video. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I didn't record. What does AE lock mean?